King Charles has been out here playing grandfather of the century with gifts so outrageous they'd make Jeff Bezos blush. We're talking £18,000 playhouses, entire fields named after the boy, and trees that'll outlive us all. Buckle up, because today we're diving into the most bonkers grandfather-grandson gifting relationship in royal history. Welcome back to Royal Cookies, where we serve up the juiciest royal gossip with a side of heart-wrenching humanity. Please remember to subscribe and click on the notifications bell icon, so you will be notified whenever we upload new cookies about the British royal family. Prince George just turned 12. Yes, that's right. Our future king is now old enough to probably Google himself and find some rather interesting search results. But what's got everyone talking isn't just his adorable new birthday portrait. It's the absolutely mental gift-giving spree his grandfather has been on since the lad was born. Let's start with something that'll make every parent watching this video question their life choices. Remember when you thought that £50 wooden swing set from B&Q was pushing the boat out? Well, King Charles looked at that amateur nonsense and said, "Hold my organic tea." This man, this absolute legend of grandfatherly excess, dropped £18,000 on a playhouse for Prince George. £18,000. For context, that's more than most people spend on their first car, and certainly more than I've ever spent on, well, anything that isn't keeping me alive. But here's where it gets properly mental. This isn't just any playhouse, oh no. We're talking about a bespoke, handcrafted masterpiece that's basically a miniature mansion with all the bells and whistles. I mean, George's playhouse probably has better Wi-Fi than half the UK at this point. It's the sort of thing that makes you wonder if Charles secretly wishes he could shrink down and live in it himself. And honestly, who could blame him? Right, if you thought the playhouse was excessive, brace yourself because we're about to enter territory that's so bonkers it makes Alice in Wonderland look like a documentary about ordinary Tuesday afternoon activities. King Charles didn't just buy his grandson a field, he named a field after him. Not a small patch of grass behind the garden shed, mind you, but an actual proper field on the Sandringham estate. The king created a special garden for his eldest grandchild following his birth in 2013. And this isn't some quick weekend gardening project either. Picture this, you're Prince George, you're having a tantrum because your nanny won't let you have a third helping of pudding, and your mum casually mentions, "Well, if you don't behave, we won't visit your field today." Your field. Not a playground, not a toy room, an entire field. With your name on it. Most of us can barely get our names on a library card without a proper ID check. And this kid's got agricultural real estate at age 12. And let's be honest here. When George brings friends over, what's he supposed to say? Want to see my room? Oh, and also, fancy a quick stroll through my personal meadow. The other kids at school must think he's either lying or living in some sort of parallel universe where normal childhood doesn't exist. But wait, and I cannot stress this enough, it gets more ridiculous. Charles didn't just plant a tree for George's birth. He planted an entire grove. "It's really George's wood," he said. "It's going to be quite amazing for him, as they grow up, and he grows up." This man literally created a forest. A forest. For a baby. Most grandparents struggle to remember to water their houseplants, and Charles is out here cultivating ecosystems like he's some sort of horticultural deity. Can you imagine the conversation? What did your granddad give you for being born, George? Oh, you know, the usual oxygen-producing trees that will literally outlive several generations of our family and probably witness the heat death of the universe. Standard Tuesday in the Windsor household. Really. And the best part? Charles plans to keep adding to this forest for years to come. By the time George becomes king, He'll have his own personal Amazon rainforest. Other monarchs had crown jewels. George will have a carbon offset program that makes Greta Thunberg weep with joy. Now, you might be thinking, surely Charles has given some normal gifts too. And you'd be absolutely right. He has given George perfectly ordinary, sensible presents like a hand-finished silver egg cup and spoon bearing his grandfather, King Charles III last coronation commemorative mark for Christmas. Oh, and let's not forget the recent haul from Charles's Australian tour, where he was gifted a rugby ball, cricket ball and a fluffy toy koala specifically to give to his grandchildren. Finally, something that resembles what normal grandparents might bring back from holiday, except these were presented to him by church officials as official diplomatic gifts. Because even George's normal presents come with a side of international relations. Right? Let's get serious for a hot minute. And by serious, I mean as serious as one can be when discussing someone who gives forests as birthday presents. What's actually going on here? Is Charles compensating for something? Is this just how royals express affection? Or has he genuinely lost the plot and forgotten that children can be perfectly happy with a football and a packet of crisps? Here's the thing. Charles has always been the environmental monarch, the chap who talks to plants and champions organic farming like it's a religion. So these gifts aren't just random acts of grandfatherly excess. They're Charles literally giving George pieces of the natural world to care for and steward. It's like his saying, "Here, child, have some trees and a field." But there's something deeper here, isn't there? Charles waited decades to become king, watching his own mother reign for 70 years. Now he's got this precious grandson who represents the future of the monarchy, and is essentially trying to plant, quite literally, the seeds of environmental consciousness in the next generation. Think about it. By the time George is old enough to fully appreciate these gifts, he'll have watched his personal forest grow from saplings to towering trees. He'll have childhood memories of playing in a field that bears his name. If you're obsessed with royal strategy and environmental impact like I am, make sure you're subscribed to Royal Cookies because we're serving up the most sustainable royal content on YouTube. And remember, in a world full of fast fashion and royal scandals, sometimes the most revolutionary thing you can do is wear your values on your sleeve, preferably in a gorgeous shade of green. Sophie's proving that environmental activism isn't just about what you do, it's about who you become. Until next time, keep munching on those eco-friendly royal cookies.